Political leader Ismail Haniyeh in Tehran has sent shockwaves through West Asia, threatening to trigger an already volatile situation. This attack, widely attributed to Israel, has not only drawn pledges of retaliation, but also exposed a growing rift between Israel and America's approaches to the ongoing conflict in Gaza.
Iran is seething. The Iranian proxies are vowing revenge, and Israel is bracing for an attack. But the US claims it had no idea about the killing of Hamas's political chief, Ismail Haniyeh. The targeting and timing of the Tehran-Haniyeh strike that is being blamed on Israel may have all but destroyed US hopes for a ceasefire in Gaza. Iranian Supreme Leader Ayatollah Ali Khamenei is calling for direct retaliation against Israel. Thousands of mourners gathered at Tehran University, their chants against Israel and the US echoing through the streets of the capital. Given this backdrop, US Secretary of State Antony Blinken's claim that Washington had no idea about the attack is raising eyebrows.
Well, of course, I've seen the reports, and what I can tell you is this. First, this is something we were not aware of or involved in. It's very hard to speculate, and I've learned over many years never to speculate on the impact one event may have on something else. So I can't tell you what this means.
The series of attacks on high-profile members of militant groups comes on the heels of the Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu's pledge to the US lawmakers of total victory.
We meet today at a crossroads of history. Our world is in upheaval. In the Middle East, Iran's axis of terror confronts America, Israel, and our Arab friends.
Israel is warning that it is also prepared to expand its fight further to even Lebanon, where the Hezbollah too is warning of action after an Israeli strike killed its senior commander, Fouad Shukr, in southern Beirut. Washington reiterates that the US remains committed to a ceasefire in the Israel-Hamas conflict, but with Iran sharpening its tone, an attack on Israel seems imminent. The big question is, will Israel and its staunch ally, the US, launch a preemptive strike or prepare to defend? Bureau Report, WION World is One.
For more on this, we are being joined by Dov Zakheim, former Undersecretary of Defense in the George W. Bush administration and currently senior advisor at Center for Strategic and International Studies. He's joining us live from Washington, D.C. Dov, welcome back to WION. With tensions on the rise in the region, is there daylight between Israel and the United States right now, notably the Biden administration and Prime Minister Netanyahu?
I think there is. I think Tony Blinken was telling the truth and all the truth. We didn't know about this, and there are some good reasons why it's logical that we didn't know. To begin with, the Biden administration has been seeking some kind of arrangement with Iran regarding nuclear weapons. That obviously would not happen if we were involved in this. Secondly, they've been so careful, that is the administration, not even to attack the Houthis on a regular basis or anything like the way the Israelis attacked Hodeidah, again, because they don't want to alienate Iran entirely. In fact, they've still allowed Iraq to buy Iranian oil and granted waivers. Same reasons. That's number one. Number two is, for years, Netanyahu in particular has been trying to drag the United States into a war with Iran for the very simple reason that Israel knows it can't do it by itself. We have resisted that. And my guess is that senior people in the Pentagon, when they heard about this assassination, went, oh my God, what next? Because that is not what we want. Netanyahu clearly acted on his own. He may he may think that with Biden no longer running for president, Biden may feel that he has the freedom to support Israel, not just defensively, but offensively. I think Netanyahu is wrong. But then again, Netanyahu does what Netanyahu feels is good for Netanyahu. It's not even obvious that it's good for Israel. In fact, in this case, killing the negotiator with whom Bill Burns and Brett McGurk, Burns being, of course, head of the CIA, and McGurk being the lead Middle East negotiator, still trying to negotiate, to kill the man who is sitting in Qatar, visiting Iran, no matter what the reason is and the justification. It just seemed like the wrong time. And of course, now in Iran, they're blaming the United States. And in many ways, I suspect Netanyahu doesn't mind that either, because, as I say, he'd love to drag us into a wider war.
Very interesting. Israel has decided not to comment on at least Haniyeh's assassination as of now. And, you know, as you rightly mentioned, this incident, the assassination, comes shortly after Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu met with President Biden, but also Vice President Kamala Harris. To what extent will the United States support Israel, in your view? And is there a perceived limit or threshold beyond which the U.S. will not go in backing Israel?
Well, as I say, we'll help Israel defend itself. We're not, I believe, going to cross the line and help Israel attack Iran. Frankly, all reports that I've heard is that when Netanyahu met with Vice President Harris, the meeting didn't go terribly well because she had told him privately what she has said publicly. She wants a two-state solution. Frankly, so does President Biden. And Mr. Trump, who is supposedly a stronger supporter of Israel, has never said he's against a two-state solution. Well, Netanyahu is. He's made that clear. So, yeah, there's a split. And I don't know whether that split will go away even if Trump is elected. We have a determination. We've got our hands full supporting Ukraine. You've just reported about Putin's threat that they would shoot down the F-16s that are being delivered to Ukraine. We've got our hands full with China, which is being very aggressive against Taiwan in the South China Sea. The last thing we want is to get dragged into a Middle East war.
Dov Zakheim, thank you so much for joining us on WION. We're going to track this story, of course, very closely, and I look forward to speaking to you again very soon.
Thank you very much.
For all the latest news, download the WION app and subscribe to our YouTube channel.